Alright then. Sponges smelting. Still got the gold. Hmm. I'm gonna crank the game volume down a bit more. 20 is good. Music at 10 because it was sort of going over my voice in the last little thing I did, because I did actually look over it. It didn't sound that bad, you know, but oh well. Alright then. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do for this, and I spent most of the video just running around getting sidetracked last time. So I need to decide on what I'm gonna do. And I think that it's pretty clear that mm, you know what, I may as well start with something. I'm gonna go gather some sand in order to do all that, and I'm gonna sort of box in the monument. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Ah, cactus flowers. They're here. Did I get them? I got it. Cactus flower, pink dye. You can just keep put them on the side. No, they only grow on top. Oh, still that's nice. Tearing apart the desert literally right next to my home. Is this really the best idea? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Um... You know, it's probably gonna be not super enjoyable to watch me dig out a large portion of sand, but you know, I'm just gonna keep it running anyways. The most sort of enjoyment that sort of comes out of making Minecraft content comes from just doing raw gameplay, and that's what I want to do. Minecraft medium has evolved to sort of like fast pace, constant videos. Yeah, I'm actually gonna turn off the weather. That's far too loud. Um, Turn that down to about 50. That off. Weather can go to about. Let's go 5. I'd like that to stay at 100. This can go to 50. Yeah. That's much better. I feel like my voice is more or less a centerpiece now. It's gonna be the main thing you'll hear in the video, hopefully. I'll check back after I'm done recording this, so we'll see. But yeah, no, first video's gone up. I spent a decent while making a thumbnail up for this. I'll probably have this video, ready to go up the next day. So tomorrow, since I'm doing this about an hour after the first video. Well, not an hour. Definitely more than an hour. More like closer to 2, I guess. A lot closer to 2. Oh, that fell. But, you know, I'm actually enjoying this. I'm playing on one of my favorite worlds. I'm actually enjoying playing Minecraft again. Yeah, it's all good. I'm fairly happy with how the content's turned out. It's not laggy, it's not horrible to watch from what I've seen. I've got access to all of the resolutions from YouTube because I actually went and checked. I've got access to full HD, so you know, it's good. My content is very much watchable, in my opinion. It's a lot better than the stuff I've done in the past. The horrible attempts at doing anything using my phone, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, is this clay? It is clay. Huh. I'll use some bricks at some point. I'll go get it up then, I guess. Clay generating in a big patch in a desert biome. I don't really remember hearing about this, even when I was sort of reading about Minecraft. Because a lot of sort of my knowledge about the game is. Mm, yeah, I'll talk about that. I was talking with one of my friends the other day about sort of Minecraft. Well, I was playing Minecraft with him. I was playing Bedrock Edition. We were sort of messing around with the new vibrant visuals that are about to come out. And I'd commented on some sort of feature. I forget what it was. I can't remember. But basically, I mentioned it, and he was like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" And I was very much shocked that he didn't know what I was talking about. At least he had genuinely no idea about this, and I'm like, "Hey, Matt, this is like super common knowledge. You've been playing Minecraft way longer than me. How do you not know this?" And he just sort of said, "Hey, man, I mean, I didn't play as much as you. Sort of, I haven't gotten close to your hours, but he's been playing it way longer than me." And I was sort of a little shocked that he didn't actually know about whatever it was. I still, it would sound a lot better, but it sort of it sort of reminded me that not everybody who goes into some sort of game is going to read a massive amount about it. Because when I initially tried playing Minecraft, I read through loads of the manuals. I just sort of tore through them. So I know a lot of stuff. I know all the crafting recipes. I don't know all of the potions, admittedly, because I wasn't super into that. But I knew a lot more, considering that I hadn't touched the game. Like I said, until 1.17, I knew an egregious amount, and that goes for a lot of games I play. I'll always sort of look into them and make sure I actually enjoy it. With a different game, Warframe, one of my all-time favorite games, I've actually poured a similar amount of time into Warframe as I have into Minecraft. I've poured in about 800 hours into both of them. Genuinely, like, it's a massive amount. If I were to go up to somebody who doesn't really play games and tell them that, hey, I spent 800 hours in two of these games, and they'd probably look at me very weirdly and wonder why I told them that. But they'd also probably regard me a bit worse, since spending that much time on something is pretty crazy, and it's a little sad since it's a game as well. But yeah, no, I've poured loads of times. Warframe, when I was initially getting into it, actually, around about, I think, May of last year, when the Dante Unbound update dropped, I sort of I was watching a load of sort of trailers or edits of Gauss Prime on TikTok. That's how I got into a bunch of other games, actually, just seeing edits of them on TikTok. I sort of went into the game. I was debating downloading it for a couple of days, because I sort of, the thought appeared to me like, what if it's one of those role playing games, something similar to Dungeons and Dragons? Because what if the gameplay isn't like the trailer? So I went and I looked at a bunch of videos for the game, and then I decided, I'll give it a shot. I downloaded it, waited ages to play it, and it was just absolutely amazing. It was one of the best games I've played in recent memory. It was. I started off by watching a bunch of stuff. Then I started off by playing the game for about 6 hours. I got super into it. I had tons of fun hopping. I was going around one of the first missions. I forget what it was. It was a defense mission. I can't remember the name, but it was a defense mission on Earth, and there was a void fisher running. which is effectively how you'd crack open relics in order to get the primed warframes, which were upgraded, cooler versions of the regular characters. And I was effectively running around in that with my starting guy, Volt. I was having loads of fun just bouncing around everywhere, destroying enemies. It was very fun. And then I'd also, after doing that, I basically went off and I watched a bunch of videos that would effectively tell me how to not do. A lot of them from one YouTuber. Uh, Most of the content was from a content creator by the name of MH Blackie. A ton of stuff from there. These Warframe mistakes doom your account, how to do this, how to do that. It was just loads and loads of content that I more or less consumed. It was very much enjoyable. I did, and I sort of just went along with it, and I ended up super enjoying the game. I did similar things with Elden Ring, another game I put a decent amount of time into, 200 or 300 hours when I got it for Christmas a little while ago. I had loads of fun. I more or less just went around Googling weapon locations and watching videos on how to get them because that's another super fun thing for me in a lot of games. I really enjoy going around and getting weapons. That is some of the most fun I can have in a game, just getting more stuff to go around and mess around with. With my Elden Ring playthrough, I think I'm at about New Game 5, and I have more or less all of the weapons. And I've sort of just gone around and grabbed all of them so I can test out whatever I want whenever I want. You know, my stats are super high, and I've just gone on a massive tangent about completely different games that have absolutely nothing to do with Minecraft. Well, but yeah, no, I sort of had the realization that people don't really do their homework on games, and that's more of a me thing. Most normal people who play games won't go and watch a bunch of stuff about it. Well, it's not really a me thing. Other people will do that. That's why tutorials are there. But yeah, no, I've had a fair amount of fun doing that. I haven't really done much else outside of playing games. I mean, I'll go and hang out with my friends, but that's basically where my passions end. I like playing games, and that's about it. I'll read every once in a while, but every sort of book that I've had loads of interest in, I have very much read. And I own pretty much all of them as well. I've got a massive sort of collection of books sitting to my right. It This sort of bookcase type thing. I don't have any shovels. I should head back. But you know, it's like that. It's a shame as well. I should probably get into more. I should get into more, but I'm not in the best shape, so I'm not super into sports. I like swimming, but you know, I don't know. We don't live particularly close to clean bodies of water, and the ones that we do live close to aren't exactly clean. I'm pretty sure our local sort of area has warned us not to go swim in the local river because toxic green algae has been found in there. My brother came home to us and told us that. Um, and the river is more or less the only place you can go swim. So, can't really do much of that. Oh, wandering trader. First one of the world. He's actually got good trades as well. Potatoes, fermented spider eye. I can make a fermented spider eye for 3 emeralds. No, it needs mushrooms. Do I have mushrooms? I got that. I've got the sugar for it, but I also need mushrooms. Do I have a mushroom? I do have mushrooms. Hey. best not go anywhere. If I remember correctly, it was this. Yep. Just another example of my epic Minecraft knowledge. I know exactly how to make a fermented spider eye. And I could use it to get a sea pickle. Or some dyes, but no, thank you. I think I will hold on to this. No, I'm just going to, Do I need leads? They're only string. But I'm also currently playing on peaceful. I'll spare you. I'll spare him. My good deed for the day. I can go right there. Oh, I got a wooden shovel. Don't need that. Let's put my clay balls away as well. That. Sponges are all dried, so I could sort of dry it out if I wanted to. But I think after I cordon it off, I'm going to get to work on my bridge. Maybe try my hand at making some sort of... I can't really do that though, can I? Time lapses would sort of require me to have mods, and this is very much just vanilla. I'm sort of comfortable keeping it that way because, well, my performance has actually been pretty good, all things considered. I'm sitting at, what, 15 chunks? It's a little lower than what I usually play at, but I can still see pretty much the entire sort of bay or basin. Yeah, you know, this is basin. This is where we live. This is our basin. Little sort of hollow area. Big monument. No, yeah, it's a basin. But I can see more or less the entire place. I can see over to that coast. I can see over to the desert. I can see over to that sort of land. I can see over there. So yeah. I'm pretty happy with how everything looks. It's running very smoothly. 50, 60 FPS, very good. Super technical stuff that most, well, the people I'm attempting to sort of reach won't understand. Did I just have that in there the entire time? Did I really just have loads of wood in my inventory? I probably did, didn't I? Actually, wait, where are the saplings? I should take those over to the storage system. Oh, an apple. I can make a golden apple. Not that I need it, but I can make one. Ugh. You know, now that I think about it, one of the reasons I enjoyed playing beta so much was that there was more or less a reason for me to sort of build these simplistic little farms and do all this stuff. Whereas with modern Minecraft, you sort of just go over to get diamond gear and netherite gear, and then you just automate, and nothing's sort of done manually. You're basically playing it like an MMO. The goal of the... would it be an MMO? Yeah. A better way of putting it would be like you're playing the game to not play the game anymore. So, you know, that's how it feels to me, at least. Then again, I've never gotten far enough to the point where I could build these massive technical farms. You know, I thought I had a pretty okay grasp on sort of technical Minecraft as a whole, but I've proven myself wrong on that on several occasions. Watching some of Ethos Lab super old sort of survival Let's Play videos showed me that I had no clue what I was talking about, and I tend to approach Redstone the same way I approach coding, which is just brute force. If something doesn't work, I'll do my best to work. I'll work around it in the most complicated way possible. I might do some redstone. I very much might. There's loads of redstone down in that mine, which you probably might have seen. Actually, no, you wouldn't have. That's the first recording I trashed. Actually, wait, I haven't shown you sort of the smaller downstairs areas of my sort of base. I will sort of use this stack and then I'll go and show that off because I still haven't shown off very much of this place at all. You know, I'm honestly pleasantly surprised that my voice doesn't sound too terrible to listen to, in my opinion. Because in the past, whenever I sort of listened to myself say anything, it was absolutely terrible. It was like the worst thing I'd ever heard. And I'm glad that it sort of feels like it's gotten better. Are you a new trader or are you the same one? You're a new one. Acacia sapling, fire coral, cherry log. You are not exactly useful. That is iron down there? I am going to sort of leave you guys stranded here. They're not getting out. If I'm gonna be honest, they aren't leaving. I'm considering butchering him for those leads though. But then again, they are just gonna be made out. They're just gonna be basically string in the next update, so it's not super necessary. We're a few short steps away from craftable name tags, and my ocean monuments are almost boarded off. I'm going to need to tear up most of the desert in order to do really anything with it, because I'd have to cordon it off and then sort of go down and just it would be a whole process and it wouldn't be very enjoyable without Elytra. But even then, Elytra, another thing, a lot of people have sort of come to the conclusion that it ruins Minecraft's movement. And on the one hand, I wholeheartedly agree, but on the other hand, it's also very fun. So I suppose it depends. You know, I could go and tear apart that massive, sandy, ugly mountain, but that's also a very long walk. Yeah, no, there are loads of these clay patches around here. I keep noticing them. This is probably an old generation thing, but I guess I didn't really explore the desert all that much. Oh, we got a little spruce biome here. At least, yeah, I think it's spruce. Or, yeah, no, it's spruce or some sort of mountain biome. I don't have the F3 skill to sort of check it, but I can tell from the grass. The grass. Also, looking back at that clip, I think I might have genuinely been sort of losing my mind, and that might have genuinely just been normal grass, and my brain just tricked me into thinking it wasn't. Then again, I've been wrong a lot more than I've been right. I also spent a little bit of time putting together a thumbnail. If anyone does end up watching these videos, I'd feel incredibly grateful if you could let me know if the shader thumbnails are good or whether they feel a bit disingenuous. Because when I initially sort of started a Minecraft Let's Play on my phone ages ago, I erased all the videos so you can't find them anymore. But I initially sort of had a separate super flat world, which is what I'm doing this time, where I have shaders and everything. This is a completely separate sort of instance of Minecraft. though, so I don't have shaders on this, but I do have shaders on that. And, you know, it's supposed to look like super nice and good. But yeah, no, if it's sort of disingenuous and misleading, it would be great if somebody could let me know. Chances are people aren't really going to see these videos. But you know, the more or less anybody who's ever told somebody to start a YouTube channel has talked about consistency, how you should upload every day. So I think setting off one episode to upload a day would be good. And since I can upload more than one, since I can record and create a thumbnail for more than one episode a day, I'd probably have a surplus, especially since I'm more or less done with exams and, well, summer holidays are coming on, longer than most. I'm also only taking one sort of course for college, so I'm going to have more time in that regard too. So I imagine I'll take college a little more seriously than I took secondary. That is, if I get into college at all. I've sort of pushed aside everything, and it's a bit too late for me to sort of change that. So, you know, we'll see. I think I've done pretty alright, but I also think a lot of things, and more often than not, those things are right. Well, not right. A little bit egotistical there, but eh. You know, it's pretty alright that I've more or less taken sand out of the desert in a way that it doesn't look unnatural and like I've just ripped the place apart. I'm not feeling like super pressed to go and get iron armor and upgrade my tools. I'm fairly happy with stone and just sort of using that. Let me just cover this up. Alright, that's good. And let me just... I've gone a bit overkill with the sand, I think. I probably have. Or maybe I haven't. It took a lot of sand to sort of just do a tiny little bit. You know, we'll see. I just got to do it like this. I can't say I really look forward to draining out the rest of the monument. And I might just end up going off and looking for new chunks so I can get buried treasure and just build a couple conduits down there so I can breathe. Maybe I'll even just go off to the nether and get water breathing potions so I can breathe under there. Alright, that's it, you're dying. And your llamas too. Noisy. How do you take 5 hits from a diamond sword without sort of going down? I mean, look, that one took 2. This one took like 5. Oh, voice crack. That was great. You know, maybe I should dye my leather armor. I got a little bit of cactus. And yeah, no, I'm done. I did go a little bit overboard. Let me go get some cactus flowers and I'll dye my armor because you can do, what was it, 4 cactus green. So I guess I'll also need 4 of these. Does cactus still destroy items if I throw it at it? If I throw leather at cactus, it does. It does disintegrate the leather. But it doesn't disintegrate the other stuff. The cactus flowers. Or maybe it does. I'll probably check that out later. But in the meanwhile, I'm now done with that, so my first little sort of project is done. And I think I'm going to I'm going to go work on something else. I will check how I'm getting along with the time. Is this the same guy? This is the same guy. I'll leave him. If I wake up in the morning and he's gone, I'll accept that. If not, I'm going to slaughter him and his llamas. I don't think it's been too long. It doesn't feel like it's been too long into the episode. Well, he's still alive, and I'm an individual of my word. Where are you? You're getting slaughtered. He's gone. You're gone. Get back here. There you are. Alright, so I'm going to start off by taking out my sponges. That gave me a little bit of XP. And I'll start smelting off the cactus. Oh, and it looks like I'm over time on this episode, so I think breaking it off into episodes is pretty good. I don't think it's too terrible of an idea. So I'll probably do that. Nice 30-minute episodes. You can sort of sit down and watch while having a meal. Not that anyone will probably watch this, but if you're bored enough, you might. So I think I'll dye my armor and then I'll sort of close it off there. Alright. Strip my armor off. Boom, boom. It looks like it's turned it grey. I don't think I like that. So I'm going to turn that one extra grey, and I'll turn this one extra sort of pink. Oh no, it went a sort of brown. I don't think that's too terrible. If anything, it looks like I'm attempting to sort of pretend to be someone from some type of game. You know, I think I'll leave it off here. Seems like a good stop to this episode, so I'll leave it off here and I'll pick up where I left off in the next one. Yeah.